It started in a quiet neighborhood in Charleston, South Carolina, the kind where everyone waves, lawn sprinklers hiss before sunrise, and crime feels like something that only happens on TV. But in the summer of 2023, something changed. Residents began noticing a man in a police uniform who wasn't part of their known local force. He drove an unmarked black Dodge Charger with tinted windows and no visible badge number. Still, he carried himself like a Capratio on his shoulder, hand near his belt, eyes scanning everything. Some thought he was undercover. Others just assumed he was new. Then the questioning started. He stopped people casually, asking odd questions. They were going, who they were meeting. No arrests, no citations, just conversations. And then they were on their way. No one thought much of it, until Amy Wallace, a 32-year-old teacher, vanished on her way home from a late-night tutoring session. The last thing her roommate remembered was Amy mentioning a cop who stopped her the week before. Surveillance footage showed Amy pulling into a gas station, standing near her car. The fake officer, that was the last time anyone saw her, and she wasn't the last. 3 weeks after Amy Wallace vanished, the police still had no leads. No ransom note, no body, just silence. Her car was found neatly parked near a riverbank, doors locked, no signs of a struggle. Her phone was missing, and so was her purse. The only oddity, a traffic stop log on her phone's notes app stop. By Pellison marked black Dodge, male white, 6 feet badge, said Hawkins, polite but odd. But there was no Officer Hawkins in Charleston PD, while Amy's case was quietly growing cold. Another name entered the picture, Jordan Ellis, 27, a rideshare driver who worked night shifts. He texted his sister one night, just got stopped by some cop. No idea why, he didn't even ask for my license. That was the last message he sent. His car was discovered days later, engine still warm, parked in an abandoned gas station lot outside town. No signs of Jordan. Now, 2 adults had disappeared under eerily similar circumstances. Both had interacted with a cop no one could identify, and both disappeared without a trace. That's when Detective Erin Cole was brought in. She didn't believe in coincidences, and she sure as hell didn't trust ghosts in uniform. Detective Erin Cole didn't waste time. Within 24 hours of being assigned the case, she had gathered every traffic stop record, dashcam feed, and police personnel file she could get her hands on. One detail kept gnawing at her: the name Officer Hawkins. There was no one by that name listed in the Charleston Police Department or nearby precincts. The badge number, Amy noted in her phone. It belonged to a retired officer who had died 4 years ago. Erin's instincts screamed impersonation. She requested surveillance footage from the gas station where Amy was last seen. It was grainy, but Erin paused on one frame. A tall man in a pressed uniform, wearing sunglasses even though it was nearly 9 p.m. He wasn't interacting with anyone else, just staring at Amy's car. Erin enhanced the image and zoomed in on his shoulder patch. It looked authentic, but the font was slightly off. Manufactured, not issued. That same day, she received a call from a neighboring town's sheriff's office. We might have something. A college student vanished 2 months ago, said she was pulled over by someone with no marked car. Her name was Lily Tran. 3 disappearances, 1 pattern, 1 fake cop, and he was just getting started. Lily Tran, 21, was last seen driving home from her night class at Coastal State University. She had told her roommate she'd be back in 30 minutes. Instead, her car was found the next morning at a rest stop door ajar, keys in the ignition, and her laptop bag on the front seat. But Lily was gone. Detective Erin Cole drove out to the scene herself. It was off Highway 17, a lonely stretch lined with dense pine forest. Something about it felt staged. To clean. Erin met with Lily's parents, hoping for insight. They shared a chilling detail. Lily had once mentioned being pulled over by a cop who didn't write her a ticket, just ask questions. Where she was going, whether she lived alone, it was like he was fishing. Her mother said, trembling. Erin reviewed traffic camera footage from Lily's route. At 9:16 p.m., Lily's car appeared. 2 minutes later, a black Dodge Charger followed. No license plate, no visible police lights, just taillights fading into darkness. Erin now had 3 victims, 3 locations, all quiet, all fast, and still no name for the man behind the badge. But she could feel him watching. Somewhere out there he was, already hunting the next one. Erin Cole's gut told her the fake officer was escalating. He was bold to bold, but why the long gaps between victims? Why not strike more often? Was he being selective? That answer came in the form of Monica Reyes, 45, a real estate agent and single mother of 2. She didn't disappear. She survived. Monica reported being stopped late one evening on her way back from a showing in Somerville. The officer wore a standard uniform but didn't flash a badge. He had this calm voice. To calm, she said during her interview. Kept asking personal questions about my kids, if I lived nearby. Then he asked me to step out of the car instead of complying. Monica hit the gas. She sped straight to the nearest police station and filed a report. When detectives followed up, they confirmed no officer was on patrol in that area at the time. Monica gave the same description as the other 3 victims. But something new stood out. A scar running down the man's right cheek. Now Erin had a face details, something solid. The man was no longer a shadow, but Erin knew that letting Monica go meant one thing. The fake officer would strike again, soon. Erin Cole's board was filling up maps, photos, timelines, a sketch based on Monica. Rhea's description. The scar was key. Combined with the height, build, car model, and odd badge, she finally had enough to run a deeper search. She asked Internal Affairs for a list of former cops dismissed for impersonation, misconduct, or mental instability in the last 10 years within a 300-mile radius. One name jumped out: Ethan Ward, former patrol officer in Columbia, South Carolina, dishonorably discharged in 2017 after multiple complaints of aggressive behavior, stalking women during traffic stops, and falsifying paperwork. He vanished shortly after losing his badge and hadn't resurfaced since Erin pulled his old file photo. Tall, Caucasian, strong jawline, and on his right cheek a faded scar from a motorcycle crash during a pursuit. Everything lined up. The black Dodge Charger had been registered to his mother before she passed away. DMV never marked it as sold. Now she had a name to match the uniform. But as Erin built her case, a fourth official disappearance hit the news. Devin Price, a 19-year-old grocery store clerk, failed to come home after his night shift. Erin knew Ethan Ward was taunting her now, and time was running out. Devin Price's disappearance hit differently. Unlike the others, Devin had no car. He walked or biked to work. His phone was last pinged near Lake Marion, a desolate stretch surrounded by trees and rarely used boat ramps. Police found his bicycle leaning neatly against a tree. His phone was submerged, nearby screen cracked, dead. Erin stared at the map again. For vanishings, one survivor, all connected by back roads. And now, a pattern emerged. Every victim was stopped in low surveillance zones. No lights, no cameras, no witnesses. The man was methodical, so Erin designed a trap. She set up a plainclothes officer, young, alone, matching the fake cop's past targets on a rural highway just outside Charleston. The decoy car had hidden cameras. Backup was stationed every mile. The officer's only task: wait, act lost, and look vulnerable. Hours passed. At 11:42 p.m., headlights approached. A black Dodge Charger slowed down and pulled up behind the decoy. The man stepped out. Police uniform. Calm expression. He tapped the driver's window. Before backup could close in, he ran. Abandoning the car, he vanished into the trees. But the Charger was theirs now, and what was inside sent a chill down Erin's spine. Because it wasn't just evidence, it was a trophy room on wheels. Inside the black Dodge Charger, Erin and the forensics team found what looked like a standard patrol set-up radios, fake ticket books, even a fabricated badge. But in the trunk, hidden beneath a false floor, lay something far darker. Personal items. Amy's locket, Jordan's wristwatch, Lily's student ID, Devin's employee badge. He had kept souvenirs. Each item was cataloged, labeled, and stored in small evidence bags. It wasn't random, it was ritual. This man wasn't just impersonating an officer, he was feeding an obsession. Also found was a large black notebook. Inside were detailed notes, times, license plates, behaviors. He had been stalking people long before he ever approached them. On one page, a chilling list. Targets: Monica are skipped. Erin C. unknown. Erin froze. Her name was on his list. How long had he been watching her? The Charger was a goldmine for DNA, fingerprints, and most valuably a lead. Tucked inside the glove box was a motel keycard from Red Pines, and just an hour north. Erin didn't wait. She and a SWAT team stormed the motel that night. Room 108 was empty, still warm, a coffee cup half finished, but on the wall, written in red marker, "The badge suits you. See you soon." Room 108 had been cleaned out in minutes. No fingerprints, no phone, no wallet. Just that mocking message on the wall. Erin stood in the center of the room, heart pounding, not from fear, but rage. He had been inside her world now, studying her. She wasn't just chasing him anymore, he was chasing her back. Erin's team swept the area, checking nearby cameras. One grainy feed caught him walking away from the motel through the woods, wearing a hoodie over his uniform. He knew every trick, knew how to move without leaving digital footprints. But he had made one mistake. He was getting personal. 2 days later, Erin received an envelope at her office. No return address. Inside, a photo, a grainy image of her house taken at night, with a red X drawn on the window where her home office was. He was watching her. Erin was immediately placed under protection. Cameras were installed. A surveillance team was parked outside. But none of it felt like enough. She looked at the board in her office. 6 faces. 6 families destroyed. And now it was her turn. But Erin had one rule. You don't hunt a cop unless you're ready to be caught. 3 days passed in silence. No sightings. No new victims. It felt like the calm before a storm. Then, on a stormy Thursday night, Erin's phone rang. A 911 call had come in from a rest stop off Highway 41, same highway where Lily Tran had vanished. A security guard reported a man in a police uniform trying to force a woman into the woods, but this time, the woman screamed loudly. The fake cop ran but not fast enough. By the time Erin and her team arrived, he was cornered near a water tower, soaked in rain, blood on his hands, not the woman's, his own. He had slit his wrist but survived. Ethan Ward, the man behind 6 disappearances and a city's growing fear, was finally in custody, but he refused to talk. Erin visited him days later in the hospital ward, flanked by guards who just smiled when he saw her. "I only stopped the ones who didn't belong," he whispered. "You would have understood if you weren't too busy chasing ghosts." "Where are they, Ethan?" Erin asked. His smile widened. "That's the thing about ghosts. Detectives sometimes, they stay hidden." The case was closed, but the bodies were never found.